Last time, we began delving into Super, and saw the return of future Trunks as well. Although, he isn't facing Goku Black this time, it's Vegeta Black. We'll be seeing more of that as well as some other things in this part 11 of What If Gohan Had a Twin. Trunks returns to the present. Thankfully, not all is lost in his timeline just yet, especially thanks to the help of Android 16 being there. Naturally, everyone's surprised to see him return, and soon enough, they hear the reason why. Also, they see the reason why, because Vegeta Black appears in the past timeline. Now, naturally, with Vegeta seeing an imposter of himself, he's going to be pretty pissed off, and he tries to kill him instantly. He doesn't play around. But Vegeta Black is also going to play it safe. He knows that it might be too dangerous to be here just right now. So, he'll wait a bit to come back, or he'll wait for Trunks to return, whatever happens sooner. He nearly does die against Vegeta, but is able to escape in the nick of time. Instead of being pulled back into the future, he willingly goes back there. And this pain that he got from fighting Vegeta, this will make him stronger, so it's not a complete loss. He could turn this into a good thing for himself. Plus, he was able to destroy Trunks' time machine when he did get back there, which is going to create some issues for everyone in the present timeline. So that was pretty chaotic for everybody, but at least now they have a moment to breathe. This is especially weird for Vegeta. He came face to face with an imposter of himself, who clearly isn't him. There's no doubt about it. That guy looks like him, but it isn't him. Vegeta knows he was a bad guy in the past too, but that's not how he would act. That's not an evil Vegeta, that's someone completely different. He knows what an evil Vegeta looks like. But also, this is an interesting opportunity for Vegeta. Last time Trunks was here, he never even knew who Trunks was. He didn't realize until after the fact. And Raditz was kind of right to call him an idiot for not realizing earlier on. But now this is a good chance for him to actually get to know Trunks, the future version. Of course, he has his own version of Trunks too. But it puts their last encounter into perspective. He treated Trunks just as an ally, barely even that. He was an acquaintance at best, not realizing that that was his son. Despite things seeming bad right now, this might be a good opportunity for Vegeta to make amends with that, and actually get to know Trunks more. And although he doesn't show it on the surface, he does want to make it up to Trunks. As for Trunks too, he's glad to see Vegeta again. And by now it's obvious that Vegeta would know who he is, especially because Trunks sees the past version of himself here too. It's a pretty emotional encounter for him, especially because he also gets to see Gohan and Goten, the people that he grew up with and knew the longest. They look different from their future selves, but there's no doubt about it. It clearly is them, and they're thriving. This is a timeline where they actually get to live their lives normally. They don't have to fight constantly and be faced with turmoil. That's not to say their life is completely peaceful, but they're able to live here, both in the sense of having a fulfilling life and actually still being alive. It's bittersweet. It reminds him of future Gohan and Goten, but also it makes him happy for this present version. Even if the future ones didn't get to have that sort of life, these two are able to accomplish what they want. They even have their own families now. And he can also clearly see that the present version of Trunks, that Trunks looks up to Gohan and Goten just like this Trunks does. Despite the differences in timelines, it seems their relationship still remains the same, which makes him happy. It seems even in Peaceful Life, they're good mentors for Trunks. Not just that, older brother figures too. Of course, with that imposter showing up, everybody does want to help, but it's kind of tough to do so because the time machine isn't going to be able to fit everyone. Sure, Bulma might be able to expand it a bit, but it can only fit so many people. She can't create a giant time machine, especially because it's going to take more fuel to bring that. It already takes long enough to make fuel as is, and they don't really want to waste too much time here. So she is able to expand it a little bit, but right now it's not like it's going to fit the entire cast in there. Everyone wants to do something. Gohan, Goten, Vegeta, Raditz, Goku, Piccolo. Anyone who can help does want to. But they can't just squish everyone in there because it needs to be controlled somehow. So for the time being, they have to decide who goes. Vegeta says he's going regardless. This is his battle, especially because it's his imposter, and it's his son. Gohan and Goten would be a good fit too because they're two of the strongest people here. And Trunks says they also have Android 16 in the future. Once the time machine is refueled, they go to the future. And all the while, Beerus and Whis want to look into who Vegeta Black truly is. Since Goku and Raditz are left behind, they go along, with Piccolo also following too. The three of them will try and solve that mystery, while the four others will go to the future. Trunks' time machine arrives back in his timeline. And this is a strange encounter for Vegeta. Future Bulma's actually alive here, which is obviously a good thing. And she can't believe what she's seeing. It's been so long since she last saw Vegeta. And for Vegeta, it's him seeing his wife, but it's not actually his wife. She's glad to see him, even though it's not her Vegeta. But it gives her comfort knowing that this is how Vegeta would have turned out. He was a good guy. And thankfully she's not going to smother him because she really didn't get to get too close to Vegeta. At least not nearly compared to how close they are in the main timeline. But for Vegeta it is strange because it's the woman he loves, in a sense, but not really. He really doesn't know how to feel here. Especially because he's more so focused on his imposter too. Fuming at the fact that someone's impersonating him and attacking this timeline. Attacking his son. Attacking his wife. Destroying all the people and things here. He's not going to stand for it. Bulma also thinks the same of Gohan and Goten. Those two she actually knew for a while. She has the same view on them as Trunks does. Once again, these two are back to help them, even if it's not the same Gohan and Goten she knew. Thankfully, the group doesn't have to wait too long for Vegeta Black to appear, also with an ally on his side, Zamasu. Vegeta Black's not only healed, but he's grown stronger, and he thanks Vegeta for the fight. Even though he might have lost there, he got something way greater from it. Showcasing his newest power, Super Saiyan Rose. Great, another hair color. Not that Vegeta really cares. He showcases his own form, Super Saiyan Blue. He doesn't know what that pink-haired one is, but this form is definitely superior, especially because Vegeta is an actual Saiyan. He owns this body. He knows how to use it properly. Vegeta does have a tough battle at first, but Piccolo eventually joins in too using his orange form. Wait, Piccolo? Where the hell did he come from? Well, since they've had a few days now, and so many people working on figuring out who Vegeta Black truly is, Piccolo came to the future to see himself what's going on. They see Shin nearby as well, responsible for transporting him here. This surprises Vegeta Black as well, and Piccolo tells Shin he can go back to get the others. Now that he gets to see the future timeline with his own eyes, he can confirm that it was Zamasu that they were thinking of. Now they know the identity of Vegeta Black, and know that another Zamasu is involved somehow. Piccolo, Beerus, and Whis were able to deduce this pretty easily. So Shin goes back to get Raditz and Goku and tell them what's happening, and Piccolo helps Vegeta out in the battle. Funny enough, the two of them do have some experience fighting together. Vegeta was hoping he'd be able to handle this alone, but he does thank Piccolo for the help. For his own sake, he would have loved to defeat Vegeta Black single-handedly. But the most important thing is that they get to destroy him, and if he needs Piccolo to do that, so be it. With the two of them working together, Vegeta Black's completely overwhelmed and does have to retreat to heal a bit. With that strange Kai next to him also retreating. They don't really have a clue of who he is yet, but they can tell he's probably going to heal Vegeta Black. But Piccolo says it's not really a big deal. He holds a hand out to Vegeta, doing the same thing and healing Vegeta. While they were fighting Vegeta Black, the Hybrid Saiyans were all fighting Zamasu together. This seemed like overkill at first, especially because Trunks alone could have handled him, but somehow, he was able to survive. It seems like he's immortal somehow. Plus, with what those two told them, it seems like it's all making sense now. Vegeta Black is Zamasu from another timeline, and Zamasu, he's the one from this timeline, but immortal. So, it shouldn't be too hard to defeat them. All they'll have to do is seal Zamasu, which Piccolo could pull off pretty easily. Just use a Mifuma maybe. And as for Vegeta Black, well, he's going to be a little bit stronger when he returns, but they're also going to have more people helping. Shin and even Gowasu arrive in the future now. This time with Goku and Raditz. Beerus and Whis didn't come along because they're not going to mess with this. With the Saiyan brothers being caught up to speed as well. Goku's also brought some Senzus along with him, plus they have the Kais here, and Piccolo has his own healing powers too. They have more than what they need. Plus, even though the time machine's not going to fit everybody, they have two people that could use time rings. Goku, Raditz, and Piccolo temporarily have their own as well, allowing them to travel with those two Kais. They just hope these rings don't do anything weird to them. Especially because technically they're not even supposed to be using them, or even really capable of it, but temporarily they can. But all at once, everyone senses something pretty ominous. And in the distance, there's a brilliant pillar of light. They don't sense Vegeta Black and Zamasu anymore. They just sense one power. And materializing in front of them, a new warrior teleports in, floating above them. It's a fusion of Vegeta Black and Zamasu. They could sense everyone arriving in this timeline, and no matter what the cost, they're going to win this battle. So they pull out their trump card and fuse together. The immense power of Vegeta Black combined with the immortal body of Zamasu. This is the ultimate fusion. And no matter how many people they bring in, they won't win. First, he attacks Piccolo and Vegeta, the two people responsible for attacking him last time, who he knows has a lot of power. Bolts of lightning rain down from the sky on the two of them. Piccolo's barely able to defend at the last second, but it does a lot of damage to him still. And Vegeta takes even more damage. Both of them are completely out of the fight now. That power is unlike anything they could have expected. Goku and Raditz each power up too, both showcasing their own Super Saiyan Blue. Raditz of course still does have Ultimate and everything, but he's going to use this for now. And as for Goku, he's able to keep up on his own. So despite Raditz having an advantage in power before, now the two of them are about even again. And he's glad to have an opportunity to fight with Raditz once more. The Kais go to heal Piccolo and Vegeta, with Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and 16 trying to help as well. But no matter what they do, no matter what powers they combine together, it's not working. Nothing they could do against Zamasu works. He just regenerates from it, completely unaffected. And as the two others are being healed by the Kais, Piccolo asks them something. How did those two fuse? What did they do for that? And Gowasu explains it has to do with the Batara earrings. Well, Shin and Gowasu both have their own sets of Batara earrings right now, so can't they use that and do the same thing? Well, they could, but their fusions aren't going to last as long. Fusions between Kais are permanent, but with mortals it's only going to be an hour, and maybe even less if they use too much strength. But Piccolo says they don't even need that much time. They just need that power in a pinch to kill Zamasu. Or at least contain him somehow because they might need to do that instead. Piccolo and Vegeta are fully healed. With Piccolo getting 2 sets of Batara earrings, he has a good idea of who he thinks should fuse. But before they go into fight, he asks Vegeta if he'd like to fuse with anyone. He's not going to fuse with Kakarot, nor is he going to fuse with Raditz. If anything, he'd prefer to fuse with Trunks, but he's not saying this because he's too prideful, but rather, he thinks the two of them would work better together. Possibly even those twins fusing too. Gowasu did mention, some fusions are more compatible than others, so what about two brothers fusing? Both fusions would be that, and Gohan and Goten fusing, that might be even better. They're twins. Piccolo teleports both of them over, with Piccolo mentally communicating with the other four, telling them his plan. They need to back off for now, and Vegeta and Piccolo will try and just distract Zamasu. Piccolo covertly gives them the earrings, teleporting them away quickly and then teleporting back in. Zamasu has no clue what they're planning, but it's not going to work. Although, the four of them are still kind of lost. Piccolo told them what they're supposed to be doing here, but they still don't really get it. They're going to be doing the same sort of fusion as Zamasu? Well, hopefully it works. It does sound kind of cool though. Without hesitation, Goku puts an earring on, and then holds out the other for Raditz. Fusing with Kakarot, huh? That does sound interesting. Gohan and Goten are a bit concerned about this, but they both think the same thing at the same time. It sounds crazy, but awesome. Raditz does hesitate a bit, but Gohan and Goten put the earrings on without any hesitation. And seeing his nephews do that, he says, what the hell, and puts on his own earring. And both these fusions know that they only have an hour to work, and to keep the fusion stable, they should pace themselves, not using too much strength. As two new fusions are born. The first one that appears is a fusion between Gohan and Goten. He'll name himself Goten. Wait, how about, no, Gohan. Actually, still, that doesn't work. You know what, how about just calling himself Hanten? Yeah, that name works. Hanten rushes over as the other fusion completes, immediately powering up into Ultimate, his most stable and strongest form. The other fusion fully forms and cracks his knuckles, taking a look at himself in a window nearby. So this is what Raditz and Kakarot look like fused together, huh? It even fused their outfits together. Cool. In What If Raditz Survived, I named the Fusion Dance version of this Goditz. This design is actually an unused one from that What If, so we'll be sticking with the same name that I used for this fusion, that being Radarout. Pretty radical name. He immediately powers up into Super Saiyan Blue, flying over to join Hanten in the fight. Piccolo and Vegeta could sense the two of them arriving, with Trunks and 16 also following suit. They each witness the fusions being made, and they can't believe it still. Trunks first flies in at Zamasu, flinging his sword right through him, which doesn't do anything, but it acts as a distraction, getting Zamasu to look right at Trunks as he performs a solar flare, blinding him. Then simultaneously, the two fusions attack Zamasu together. Piccolo also falls back, preparing to seal Zamasu. They just need to all hold him off at once. And Hanten's glad to see his uncle, or his father-uncle, joining in. He doesn't know what the relation is there. But this should be a fun battle. Hanten's also pretty happy, or at least the Goten side of him is, because his tail's back. He wasn't sure if this fusion would have a tail. The Goten part of him really missed that feeling. And Radarout's a bit jealous because it's been a while since either of them had a tail. The two fusions completely overwhelm Zamasu together, but they still do pace themselves as to not defuse right away. And since they're fusions, they might as well use fused moves too, right? Well, as for Gohan and Goten, they basically have the same moveset, but how about fusing two other moves together, the Masenko and the Kamehameha? And as for Radarout, it's pretty simple for him to fuse two ultimate moves together, Raditz's Fortnite Flash and Goku's Kamehameha. So together, the two of them charge their ultimate moves, easily holding Zamasu off, with Vegeta, Trunks, and 16 also doing their part. Vegeta tells them whatever the cost, that imposter's gonna go. And Trunks will protect his timeline by any means necessary. You know, Vegeta kinda regrets not fusing. Maybe he and Trunks should have fused together. But all that matters now is that they win here. Hanten shouts, Masenko Hameha, as Radarout shouts, Fortnite Kamehameha. Sorry. I should have stuck with Sabbatical as the name for that move because Fortnite Kamehameha just sounds funny. Their ultimate moves strike together. Now Zamasu's body's already been long destroyed, but this destroys it even further, trying to regenerate, but it can't fully regenerate. If they push any further, his essence will be completely disembodied and just merge with the universe, but thankfully it doesn't get to that point, because the second these attacks hit, it weakens him and stuns him just enough for Piccolo to unleash his move, the Mafuba. It takes a lot of power, especially with how strong fused Zamasu is at this point. But he's been weakened enough to seal, and Piccolo's able to create something strong enough, having to use the Mafuba in his orange form to accomplish this. With Shin and Gowasu also joining in trying to add power to the seal, using all of their combined strength and magic. And immediately after launching their ultimate attacks, the two fused fighters defuse. Raditz and Goku had a lot of fun with that, and as for Gohan and Goten, they enjoyed it too. Although Goten's a bit bummed that he doesn't have his tail, and Gohan did like using the ultimate form for a bit, and he's bummed that he doesn't have it for himself right now. It feels like when using that form, the fusion kind of unlocks some of his own power with ultimate. Weird, he'll have to remember that. Fusing was pretty fun. The two Kais are going to handle this Zamasu, taking him away and making sure that he won't come back. The timeline did take significant damage, but thankfully, it could still be restored. And not everyone died. There's still a lot of people left on Earth, even though most of them perished. But it seems like for now, Trunks' timeline is at least safe. He wishes he could have done more, and he doesn't like the fact that he had to rely on everyone else to help him. But Vegeta tells him he did the right thing. He's not disappointed in Trunks. Actually, he's impressed, especially after watching him fight. Despite Trunks knowing that he was completely outmatched, he still fought with everything he had and didn't give up, just how he'd want his son to act. And most importantly for Vegeta, they're able to get rid of that imposter. Clearly he didn't deserve Vegeta's body. How pitiful. He talked about trying to destroy mortals and how weak they were, but in the end, he was destroyed by mortals. Fusing with godly power, no less. Trunks, Bulma, 16, and Mai thank everyone for their help, bidding them all farewell. Shin and Gowasu take trips to get everyone back home so they can leave the time machine here just in case, even though they really shouldn't be leaving the time machine. And as they all go home, Vegeta does wonder to himself, what would it be like to fuse with someone? Mainly Trunks. It's not like he'd ever fuse with Kakarot, not in any timeline, right? This is where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part, and what's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.